and thank you for joining us today. We are the Washtenaw County Road Commission, and this is a virtual construction meeting for the safety project that is planned at the intersection of Dexter Townhall Road and North Territorial Road in Dexter Township. My name is Emma Sharp, and I am WCRC's Communications Associate. I'll be the meeting host today along with our project managers. This morning, I'm going to go over some housekeeping items before turning it over to staff for the presentation about the project, and then we're going to go open up the meeting to your questions. Joining me in today's meeting is Project Manager James Hui. The meeting audio and video is being recorded, and it will be posted to the project page on wcroads.org in the next day or two. After the presentation, you will be asked to virtually raise your hand during the Q&A. I will provide instruction at that time on how to do so from either your computer, the Zoom app, or your touch tone phone. The chat feature for this meeting is turned on. If you have any questions during the presentation, feel free to ask it in the chat and we will address it during the Q&A period. You can find the chat window at the bottom of your screen. And the floor is yours, James.
Thank you. Hello, welcome everybody. Thank you again for taking some time out of your day to attend this public information meeting. As of right now, we have this job on Dexter Townhall Road and North Territorial Road intersection. It is a safety project planned to be started for next summer of 2024. If you want to scroll to the next page. Just a quick project location. Again, this is primarily at the intersection of North Territorial Road and the Dexter Townhall Road intersection. We plan to be doing a lot of safety improvement here. And there's a stretch of additional signing work and centerline rumble strips that run farther east beyond this red line towards Toma Road. And then that will be the end of our project limits. But again, the red line you see on the screen here is the majority of our major work for this project. Next slide. So here's a quick picture of North Territorial Road at the Dexter Townhall intersection. This is looking west. As you might be aware, this hill on the west side of the intersection is a big problem for a lot of motorists, especially people turning in and out of Dexter Townhall Road. So our main concern on this project is to fix that and alleviate that problem. Next page. So to be 100% transparent here, we have received grant and funding from the state and the federal side for this project. This project's estimated to be about $1.6 million. And everything is ran through the MDOT letting system. Next page. So why are we doing this? Like I mentioned before, there are a lot of crash histories. That hill is a sight distance problem for motorists, which makes the intersection a very dangerous intersection. So we do plan on improving that sight distance by cutting down the hill. We'll be doing some intersection widening for left turn lanes onto Dexter Townhall from North Territorial, and then we'll be putting in centerline rumble strips farther to the east all the way to Toma Road. Next page. So for our project, there's quite a few things that we have included as well as part of our project. A lot of this stuff needed to get done and we're in the area. And a lot of this is also pertaining to the project as well. So for tree removals, we are taking a good amount of space on both sides of the road just to rebuild the road and get good drainage. So we'll be doing a lot of tree removals that will be slated for this winter. Due to our bat restrictions, we have to do it typically between October to March 31st. So all the tree removals will be happening sometimes this winter. We have a culvert replacement farther east. For people that drive this area, you probably realize that there is a low spot where a culvert is that ponds, when there are heavy rain events. We are planning on raising the road there, replacing that culvert and making sure, that ponding shouldn't be an issue again after this project. Then we're adding center left turn lanes on North Territorial Road. for both directions. So going north and south onto Dexter Townhall, we'll have a left turn lane on North Territorial Road to access that left turn. Centerline rumble strips, again, from west of the intersection all the way to Toma Road. This is just to help, keep cars in their lane. We understand that this is a fast corridor, and wandering outside your lane could be very dangerous. So we are implementing centerline rumble strips throughout the area. And then the meat of our project, again, this will be a hill cut. It's going to be a very significant hill cut west of North Territorial Road, and this will be kind of balanced out throughout the rest of the project. So when we do cut a road, typically we would raise roads in certain points to minimize the effects of cutting a hill, and we don't have to cut as much if we raise part of the road as well elsewhere. So that's the goal here, is to cut the hill on the west side and then raise the road towards the intersection and towards the east of the intersection. Next page. So here's a quick overview of everything that's going on here. I just want to make it very transparent that we are working out here. This blue bubble, it states that we're raising and cutting the road, and we're widening the road as well. This is the extent of our work. This will be closed because cutting a road this deep needs a closure. We won't be able to safely do anything to keep access on the road itself. So we will be closing it for safety purposes and just to get the project done at a timely manner. The red circle there, that's where the ponding is. We are raising the road there again, and we are replacing that culvert. And then, we'll look into, when we do dig and replace that culvert out, we'll make sure we try to fix every issue that could lead into any potential ponding or flooding in that area. And then this orange line that runs from west of the intersection all the way to Toma Road, that is our center line rumble strips. We'll be improving the pavement markings throughout this area, and then there's a couple of signs here and there that we'll be replacing as well, just to make it a little bit more clear for motorists in this area. Next page. So here's our tentative construction schedule. We do have the project submitted to MDOT, the state, for letting. We plan to have a contractor awarded fall of 2023. Once that contractor is awarded, we will be requesting them to start removing trees between that October to March 31st timeline. And then work is expected to start early summer of 2024. We're planning about 8 weeks for them to complete the project, and we'll plan on keeping them to that timeline as best we can. Next page. So here's our next steps. Again, we had everything submitted to the state with MDOT. We're waiting for the bid letting. Once that bid letting is done, we have a contractor award. And then from there, we'll have a construction information meeting similar to this, but it'll be a lot closer to when we start the project. And there we can talk about, some of the meat and potatoes of how would it impact traffic, how would it impact people living in our closure, trash and mails, and all the little details that go into construction when people live in our job sites. So we'll talk about that in more detail then. And then the project is slated to start in the summer of 2024. Next page. So the impact of traffic. Apologize in advance, this will be a full closure. I understand that it is a major inconvenience, especially with how heavily trafficked this road is. But like I explained before, this type of project is just very unsafe to try to maintain traffic through here. We will be maintaining access to everybody that lives inside our closure, but there will be no through route. We will be posting a detour. Next page. So again, apologize in advance, this detour is big. Residents, motorists, we tend to take the routes that they prefer to take. but this is our recommended detour. We have to post a detour for paved roads on paved roads, and mostly this is for trucking. So this is our recommended detour, and understandably, residents will take the fastest route that they prefer to take. So this is the North Territorial detour. This is the east and westbound traffic from North Territorial to Stouffer to Werkner, M52 to Dexter, Chelsea, up to Wiley, and through the city of Dexter up to Mass. Next page. And then this is our north and southbound detour. This will be Dexter Townhall to Island Lake to Dexter Pinckney, up to Tip Lady, and then back down to Dexter Townhall. And both of these detours will be posted on our website. I would think that a lot of you guys access the website to get to the Zoom meeting today. We'll post everything on the website, and we'll keep you posted on any of the updates as well for these projects on there. Next page. Oh, spoke too soon. Here's the website information. My contact information is always on there. I have a answer all calls policy, so give me a call and I'll answer it, and I'll do my best to help you out in any situations out here for this job. Next page.
Thanks, James. I'll take it from here.
All right, thanks, Ellen.
No problem. So now I'm going to take a second and I'm going to show you guys how to find the project page on our website. So here I've got Google open and I've got wcroads.org typed into the search bar. We're going to click enter. This will bring you to our home page. You're going to want to hover your mouse over the roadwork and construction tab. There'll be a drop-down menu where you can click on current projects. You want to scroll down, you can see the entire map of all the construction work that we have taking place in 2023. And then each of these tiles is a specific project themselves. So if you scroll down and hit on the North Territorial Road and Dexter Townhall Road safety improvements, you will come to the project webpage. Here it'll have traffic impact information, schedule information, the location. Over here you have James Huey's contact information, including his email and phone number. You've got each of the detour maps over here in the helpful links, and this will be where all of the important information regarding this project is going to be posted. So as you can see right here, this is the invite to the virtual public meeting. Any road advisories, project updates will all be posted here as well. And the most important button is going to be this subscribe to project updates that you can click on. And this is how you can receive email notifications about project updates or road advisories. So let's go back and we can open up the presentation to your questions. Okay, so if you're viewing the meeting from your computer, first make sure to click join audio. You can then raise your hand by clicking the participants or the reactions button at the bottom of your screen, and then the raise hand button at the bottom of your screen. If you dialed into the meeting from your touch tone phone, you can raise your hand by dialing *9. As the meeting host, I will unmute participants with raised hands one at a time. I will announce your username or last 4 digits of your phone number when it's your turn to speak. We are happy to answer as many questions as possible, but please be respectful of each other's time. If your question is answered before you are called on and you want to lower your hand, just click or dial the *9 button. Okay, I see Joseph has his hand raised, so I'm going to ask you to unmute yourself.
So how much of an elevation change is this going to either create or reduce?
Yeah, that's a great question. So again, when I mentioned earlier, we try to do a balance of cutting and raising the road, just to make, as little of impact as possible, especially for people living or impacted by this construction. So at our most, we will be cutting the hill down about 6 to 7 feet west of the intersection, and then at the intersection and east of the intersection is about 1 to 3 feet or so, depending on where you're at.
Okay. Diane in the chat says, will we be able to use Tomo Road to go east on North Territorial?
Yes. Yep. So as I mentioned in this map that you guys can see here, The closure will only be inside that blue bubble. The center line rumble strips, typically they can put those in with like a lane closure. So they will maintain traffic in both directions. And that's the only work we're gonna have up the Toma Road. So it's not gonna be closed or anything there.
Okay, and Matt Edwards Glass has his hand raised, so I'm going to ask you to unmute yourself.
Yeah, good morning. Thanks for taking my question. I live right there at that intersection. You may have mentioned, is there going to be a traffic signal or will that continue to be a flashing yellow? And my concern is if there is a traffic signal, there's a lot of gravel trucks up and down Territorial there that will be using a Jake brake. So I'm just wondering, is there anything to either signs up or anything like that to kind of mitigate some of that noise potentially? Thank you.
So no, thank you for your question. I think Diane asked that question as well. We are keeping the flasher out there for this job. Currently, it's not warranted for a signal. Understandably, in the future, if there are increased traffic due to developments or whatnot, we would have to reconsider it again. And the good thing about this project is we have it built that if we were to put in a signal, we can. But as of right now, it's not warranted, so we're not doing that. And we're just keeping the flashers out there.
Awesome. Okay. I'm not seeing any more questions in the chat, so I'll give you guys just a few more seconds to either enter your questions into the chat or raise your hand so you can ask it yourself. Okay. Doesn't seem like we have any more questions for today. So just as a reminder, here is James's contact information as well as our website. If you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out to us or reach out to James. We are more than happy to answer any questions that you guys may have. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we'll let you know when the construction meeting is scheduled for. Thanks and have a great day.